Do you know that in 2026, 60,311 people were detained by ICE in 2026? 70% of people who were detained had no criminal conviction or criminal record, and I got this information from the TREC immigration website, and today we'll be talking about immigration, more specifically, if immigrants living in the U.S. should be deported. Lately on the news, this has been a reoccurring controversial topic. Yeah, there has been a lot of conflict, especially on social media. I know, crazy, right? What are your guys' thoughts and opinions on this topic? I feel like everyone disbelieves in misinformation that everyone who comes to the U.S. illegally is here to sell drugs or come here for sex trafficking. But a lot of people come here for good opportunities. For example, I know a lot of people that came to the U.S. for refugees, for the countries, or came here for better opportunities. Yeah, I agree. Many people make assumptions based on things that they could hear. But if we look deeper into statistics, immigrants who have come to the U.S. contribute and make a major impact on the economy and society. They are very hardworking people seeking better life opportunities and the better for their future. Everyone just believes and picks what they want to hear online without any factual evidence and research conducted on the background and history of immigrants and how they contribute to society. There's also the other side of opinions that believe otherwise. Many others disagree, stating that immigrants hurt the U.S. and do not belong here, and that they do not contribute to anything else and use our resources given to us. I've seen a lot of people on TikTok and Instagram talking about how good it is they should get rid of all the immigrants, but they also don't see the sides of the ICE separating families and killing innocent people and how they are being humane and cruel. Aren't there certain steps to the process of deporting illegal immigrants to ensure that it is humane? Yes, there's actually a process of immigration. First, they do a removal process, which could be a notice to appear, a final administrative removal order, or a visa waiver program, etc. And they would have an accelerated removal process, which states that the immigration process may move faster, and that it can prevent you from seeing the immigration judge. But in this process, you can request that you would be released from ICE custody, and if you are removed from ICE custody, you would have to sign a paper to promise that you would appear at your court hearings. And they would also give you an ICE office appointment if you're released, and you have to go to all of them. You would also receive a notice to appear, most typically in person, and you can't receive the NTA in the mail if you do not get a notice in person. Then you would go to the first hearing, which is called the master calendar hearing, which is when you go over the charges and allegations that are against you. And if you don't attend the hearing, you can get deported back to your country. And then after that, you would get an individual calendar hearing, which is when the judge can review your documents and allow you to testify and support your application for protection or relief and why the state should let you stay.
Across the world, people are leaving their homes and their countries because of hunger, violence, political repression, poverty, and a lack of economic opportunity. Many seek safety and economic opportunity in the United States, as well as other countries in the region. Criminal smuggling organizations prey on migrants. They lie about U.S. immigration laws and hide the extreme dangers of the journey because they care only about money. But the U.S. border is not open to illegal or irregular migration, and U.S. immigration laws remain strict even as the COVID-19 public health order known as Title 42 ends. The Department of Homeland Security is simply returning to fully enforcing United States immigration laws under Title 8, placing people into removal proceedings and removing those who have no basis to remain in the United States. Unlike Title 42, Title 8 laws impose immigration and criminal consequences, including final orders of removal, deportation, a 5-year ban on re-entry, and possible criminal prosecution if you attempt to re-enter. The United States has and will continue to enforce our nation's immigration laws. The U.S. Border Patrol works every day to protect our borders using sophisticated technology, cameras, and aerial surveillance to arrest people attempting to cross the border illegally. Under Title VIII, individuals and families who arrive without authorization can be subject to removal. Through expedited removal, certain non-citizens can be returned to their country of origin very quickly. Certain non-citizens may be returned to Mexico even if they are not Mexican citizens. Dozens of deportation flights take place every week. Last year, the U.S. removed or expelled more than 1.4 million people, more than any previous year. Do not put your life at risk by taking the dangerous journey only to be sent back. Many migrants don't know this and believe the lies they see on social media or hear from others. Smugglers count on that. Smugglers may not explain the dangers, that migrants are often assaulted, abused, or kidnapped for extortion by criminal cartels. Smugglers lie about the risks of death due to heat and dehydration, the dangers of drowning trying to cross the river, or the injuries that migrants could suffer falling from the border barriers. Smugglers also lie or leave out the fact that non-citizens who arrive without authorization are subject to removal from the United States. Migrants who try to illegally enter the U.S. without authorization will be arrested and processed, which means they are screened and vetted against criminal and other databases. Anyone who poses a threat will be removed as quickly as possible or detained in accordance with the law. The fact is, most non-citizens coming to our border are not eligible to remain in the United States. Asylum laws do not provide for relief solely for economic reasons or for general violence. U.S. authorities may detain migrants until removal. In some cases, non-citizens may be temporarily released as they await the results of their immigration court proceedings only if they have passed screening and vetting. They are required to check in with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement on a regular basis and may be given ankle monitors or similar electronic devices. If temporarily released, the federal government does not provide help or financial support to non-citizens, and non-citizens must report the addresses where they stay. An immigration judge may grant asylum or other forms of relief or protection if non-citizens qualify. Most do not. If a non-citizen receives a final order of removal through their immigration court proceedings, they will be taken into custody or remain in custody and are subject to removal from the United States. These are our immigration laws, and it would take an act of Congress to change them. Do not believe smugglers who just want to make a profit. Lawful pathways are the right way for migrants to come to the United States.
Isn't there 3 ways you can get deported? Yeah, there are 3 ways you can get deported, which are voluntary departure, final orders of removal, or emergency departure. What exactly are the 3 deportation methods? A voluntary departure is when an individual has come to terms with their deportation, but on their own terms and expenses within the certain deadline date. Final order of removal is when the individual has already gone through the court process, and final order dictates for the person to be removed from the country. And lastly, emergency departure would be when an immigration judge allows you to leave the country on your own, avoiding a formal deportation or removal order on your record. And I got other information about the steps of deportation from the ICE portal. But doesn't ICE need a warrant before detaining you? Or if they see that you have some criminal record, or no matter if you have a traffic ticket, can they still deport you with no warrant? Yes, ICE should have a warrant in order to detain and deport a person following legal procedures. But especially nowadays, many ICE officers discriminate against people by how they look and ends up detaining innocent individuals. And some of these arrests have led to innocent, hardworking people losing their lives, getting hurt, and being deported for no particular reason. Wow, that's tragic. Do the ICE officers who end up doing these violent arrests get in trouble or any consequences for their actions? Actually, you would be surprised. According to an article named Brookings.edu, ICE officers who use excessive force to break the law can face consequences for their actions. but it is very known that the levels of accountability needed for these ICE officers who do these violent arrests are little to none. Many of these officers end up using the simple term self-defense card and get away with their notorious actions. This is very messed up and has been a reoccurring problem yet to change. Yeah, an example of ICE officers using excessive force and abusing their power to innocent people was in early January of this year when a 37-year-old American woman named Renee Good was fatally shot by an ICE agent in Minnesota because she was moving her vehicle to the direction of traffic, and the ICE agent named Ross was standing in the front left of the vehicle and fired 3 shots that fatally killed her. And the President of the United States defended the ICE agent, saying that it was self-defense and that she was trying to run him over, but there are eyewitnesses and video evidence stating and showing that she was not in fact trying to run him over.
Newly released cell phone video obtained by CBS News for the first time shows the ICE agent's point of view and what are likely Renee Good's last words.
I'm not mad, boy.
The agent, who appears to be filming this with his cell phone, approaches the car. Her car is blocking traffic. He circles around to the driver's side.
That's fine. U.S. citizen.
As Good's wife, who is also filming, tries to get inside the car, other officers rush toward the driver's side door.
Out of the car. Get out of the
Good seems to try to back up and then drives forward just before the same agent fires his gun in his right hand.
Yeah, there are so many people who are against ICE and others who support it, like the current steering president. These people believe that ICE is doing the U.S. a favor, quote unquote, cleaning up the streets. According to the article from the DHS Homeland Security website, it shows us that ICE has removed dangerous and violent people who have been a part of gangs and deals with drugs illegally, as well as sex traffickers and tourists. This has helped keep the United States safer and cleaner and has lowered the rate of drug importation. I did some research and found out that 14% of illegal immigrants that were taken in ICE custody have had a criminal record or conviction, or they were charged for stuff like homicide, sex trafficking, etc. Like in some of the TikTok videos, I've seen the ICE agent will disguise themselves into regular outfits and go places where they could catch people who look like they're immigrants so they could deport them. And mind you, they do not have any warrant to search these people, and they just Italianize innocent people for no reason. It is known that people who come here illegally are still entitled to humanitarian protection from the United States, even if they are not citizens, and are entitled to due process as well. If the United States keeps giving these immigrants these rights, they will keep coming to the United States and wanting to get the opportunity to become a citizen instead. This could be both good and bad depending on your point of view of how you view this controversial topic. Some people think that it is helpful and good when immigrants get these resources, and others believe that it is a waste of time and a waste of money. Yeah, there are many different opinions and perspectives on what is good or bad according to what they see or hear on social media. Like, for example, people can be on TikTok and see how people are spreading misinformation about how ICE is detaining a lot of bad people and illegal immigrants, but in contrast, they are mainly detaining or killing innocent individuals or citizens just because of their appearance or how they look. Overall, everyone will have their own perspectives and opinions on ICE, whether it is morally right or wrong, but all we can do is hope for the best and say and feel what we think in our own opinions about what is right from wrong. In conclusion, many people think ICE is very bad and unfair, while others think that it is a useful resource and helps the country overall. Thank you for listening to our podcast. I hope you enjoyed.